What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hardwood Soundsman. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to properly make a Coyote dirt hole set. So first I'm going to go over what you're going to want to need to make this set. So you're going to need a trap and a stake, and then you're going to want a dirt sifter and a little trowel, and then you're going to want wax paper, and you're also going to want Coyote lure, but I don't have that with me today because I'm not going to put it on a set that I'm not going to leave here because this is my demo set here. And then also, guys, what you're really going to want to need is you're going to want some latex gloves like these, or just scent-free gloves. Like, they make leather scent-free gloves, and I by far prefer the leather ones over these latex ones, but this is all I had today. And then, so what you're going to want to start off by doing, oh yeah, and guys, also what you're really going to want is you're going to backstop right here, for it forces the Coyote to come at a forward angle from your dirt hole, which has them to step right in the trap. And then also, guys, this is right along a fence line, so this would be a pretty good spot to set for coyotes because they like to run the fence lines looking for mice and other little critters. So guys, what you're going to want to start off by doing on this dirt hole set is you're going to want to start by digging your dirt hole. You're going to want to dig it at a 45-degree angle down into the dirt. And what you're going to want to do with the dirt you get from here, you're going to want to put it into your dirt sifter. Now this dirt on my little demo area here is pretty wet today. I try to find drier dirt because it sifts easier through your little dirt sifter. But I guess we'll just have to work with it for today. You want to dig that hole as deep as you can at a 45-degree angle. And then what you're going to want to do, so you're going to want to take your stake that you have, you're going to want to push it, this is once you've reached however far you can dig with your trowel, which was where I was just at. You're going to want to push your stake down in there and move it around to make that dirt hole a little bit bigger, or I mean a little bit deeper, a little bit bigger, because you're going to want this as deep as you can to make it harder for the Coyote to steal your bait. Once again, at a 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be exactly 45 degrees, but you're going to want it somewhere right around 45 degrees. Now, so you have your dirt hole set, and a lot of people just dig a hole, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to measure from the edge of your dirt hole to where your trap is. So it's about 8 or 9 inches, and this is about 8.5, 9 inches for my hands right here. And so I can mark that. I put my trowel right there. And then a lot of people, if they do that, they'll put it right straight on with the dirt hole. You're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to offset it just a little bit for when the Coyote comes and he faces straight up on here. He's going to have both his feet right here. And if you have your trap right in the middle, he's not going to step on it. Now, I'm not saying you wouldn't catch him if you had it in the middle, but your odds are going to be a lot greater if you offset your trap. Now, a lot of people will have a personal preference on what side they like to offset it to. I don't really care. It's all up to you guys on which way you want to offset it. And you don't want to dig your trap bed too terribly deep, and you're going to want to make it flat as possible. And then when you get it dug, this dirt is pretty muddy here today. You're going to want to pack the bottom of it down really good. Make sure your trap bed is going to be stable down in there. As you can see, I've packed that down very good. And then what you're going to want to do, oh yeah, and guys, before you even go out into the field with your trap, if you just buy your trap, I buy mine from Minnesota Trapline. I'd highly recommend checking them out if you want some traps. But you're going to want to adjust the pan tension, which can be adjusted right by that little nut right there. You're going to want to tighten that up, so when your trap is down in the dirt like this, you're not going to have a little Tweety bird or something set your trap off, or like a pheasant or something, because you're going to want it a little bit harder to set off because the Coyote is going to be heavier than a Tweety bird or any small game. So then, since I got my trap bed packed down, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to find a place, put my stake. It's best to put it right directly under your trap. I'm going to push my stake all the way into the ground. Now we have it, guys. we have our stake down into the ground. And it looks like there's a little divot in here, so I'm going to take some dirt from our sifter and put it right down in there to level it out a little bit. And then what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to take a little bit out of there, so you can curl your chain up into there when it comes time to set your trap properly into the hole. Now this stake is down in there good. If your stakes are a little bit shorter, you can also double stake your trap. So now guys, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set your trap. A lot of people set it with their hands. I'm not really too good at that. So you're going to want to set. Now I have my trap set. And now I'm going to want to kind of configure it down into my bed. And now that I've dug this down, I see that it is too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more out, make my trap bed a little bit wider, because I don't want to force the trap in there, because then you can have problems when it comes to setting it off. You're going to want it nice and comfy in there, but you're not going to want to jam it into the dirt either. Now that should be good, guys. Now, a lot of people will say put it at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something like that. For me, I'm not really too picky about that type of stuff. You want to make sure your trap is nice and comfy in there. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to lift this up. You want to make sure it's stable down there. You don't want it rocking in the dirt, or otherwise the coyote will dig it right out of the ground. You're going to pack it in there, this dirt, really well to make sure it isn't going to rock around when the coyote comes up to it. Now you want to get like sticks out of there and stuff like that out of there. You don't want that in your trap bed. Use a little bit more dirt under this jaw right here, and you don't want to be just putting these big chunks into your trap just like this. You want to put them around to pack your trap in really well. Like so. I'm going to try really hard not to get my finger caught in there. So there, it's in there. It isn't rocking, which is really good. And now these traps have night lock on them. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. And I'm going to want to bring my trap pan down, and I'm going to be really quiet here and you guys will hear this click. That means that's the farthest it can go down before setting off, which is that's where you want it at. And then what I'm going to want to do, I'm going to rip off a pretty big chunk of wax paper. I'm going to want to rip off part of this wax paper right here. I'm going to crumple it up and put it under this pan, and that makes it for it. When I sift it, a bunch of big dirt chunks aren't going to get under the pan for when something steps on it. It doesn't not, because if there's a bunch of dirt under the pan, the trap will not set off properly, or it just won't set off at all. So you're going to want to put that wax paper right under the pan of the trap, making sure you get the whole entire pan covered. Now I'm going to want to rip off a decent square like this, like so. And then what I'm going to do, I want to flip this over like that, and you want to make sure it is in there good and solid, just like that. That is perfect there, guys. You want to make sure this wax paper isn't going to be in the way. You want it nice and flat like that, level with the trap. Make sure your trap is all bedded in, and this will cover it from dirt getting into the springs and under the pan, like I said before. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your sifter and start shaking that dirt all around in there. Like I said before, guys, this dirt is really wet, so it does not break up too well. So this might take a little bit longer than expected, so I might pause the video and then. Alrighty, guys, so here now we have our trap sifted over, and like I said before, this is not the ideal dirt. So if you guys can find the driest dirt possible, when making these sets, because now it's a little bit more clumpy, but it's good where it's not going to jam the trap up. So yeah, but now, like as you can see, my sifter is kind of full of muddy dirt. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take that far away and throw it in the weeds somewhere, or use it on the next set. But this dirt I would not want to bring with me to the next set, because it'd be really, really bad dirt. And like, I'll take all this excess dirt that I had around here, I'll throw it back in my sifter. And then what you guys want to do for this final step here is you're just going to want to take some of the natural stuff you found around here. You're just going to cover this trap kind of back up like that. You're not going to want to like put like rocks and twigs on here, but this light grass or like leaves would be fine. You're going to want to make it look like you never were here, or you never did anything here. Just make it look all natural. Like, here's some leaves, throw those on top of here. I don't want to cover up my hole. Just make it look all natural again. You're going to want to make it though where you can at least tell where your trap is. I want to make sure I have all my stuff out of here, I don't lose any of it. And you don't want to accidentally lose one of your tools by covering it in the grass. So probably don't need that much there, just kind of like that. Then I'm going to want to take my trowel, just kind of pack it down, just make it look all natural. So there, and that's basically all you do. And then you're going to want to put your lure in as far down in the hole as you can, and that's going to be your very last step. I mean, if you also want to have some like coyote urine or fox urine, you can put it on back here or on top of your backstop. That also works. And then basically what the coyote's going to do is, after you make this look all natural, if I can find a stick, he's going to come up here, he's going to see the bait in the hole, he's going to walk up, and if your trap's offset, and if you did it right, it should set off. I just need to make sure I'm on the pan. Not on the pan there. The pan's somewhere in here. See? There you go. There's your trap right there. Now, like I said, this dirt was a little bit more clumpy here, but it did not get caught in the trap. It still would have caught the coyote. But if you have really rocky or really wet dirt, this dirt wasn't too terribly bad, but it was getting to the point, like if I was on my regular trap line, I wouldn't have set a trap here because the dirt is just too wet, but it was good enough where if you really needed to, you could make a set. And that's what I had to do for this demo, because all the ground's pretty wet here in the spring, Minnesota. And then you can tell our trap bed is back here. It's all uncovered. And then all you got to do when you get your coyote, dispatch him, put your trap back down in the same spot where it was before. And that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. And yeah, if you have any more questions or questions on how I do anything, drop them down in the comments. I'll answer them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.